This is my E-Flite Cirrus SR-22T. It's a 1.5 meter general aviation low-wing RC airplane, which I enjoy very much. So let's get this one outdoors and up in the air. Today, early morning, really beautiful day. And this is a really gorgeous low-wing RC airplane. I love the look of this really nice wing of this Cirrus. So let's go in for a landing. And landings with this plane then is a little bit difficult just because you have to touch down on the mains first and just flare at the right moment. So that was a good one. Sometimes you end up just bouncing this one around a little bit, but let's go in for another landing then. And I usually just do a lot of landing practice for this RC airplane because this is one of the most difficult one to get down in a good way. So you see, you can surely just bounce this one if you have the wrong angle of attack. So let's do another landing. So I usually do a lot of landings with this Cirrus just because it is more difficult. Just flare it, get it down. So when you do flare it at the right moment, you have a really nice touchdown. And when you don't, it bounces around a little bit like crazy because the landing gears are really stiff. And usually I like to fly this one more scale and just do kind of a gentle round of simple aerobatics because I think it does look at its best when you do it like that. There's no ballooning or crazy things going on when you engage flaps. And even though I've made some kind of a poor landings with this RC airplane, it do hold up really well. So you see, I mean, it looks smooth, but when you have the long speed and wrong angle, it just bounces around. So I have replaced the nose gear rudder servo then on this RC airplane to a metal gear one because I broke the plastic one. And with many RC airplanes, as you see there, I just touch down with one of the wheels first, one of the main gear wheels first, just have it a little bit tilted, which surely helps because then it touches down on the other main and then on the nose gear. So it does skip on landings really easy. I can more or less just do this all day long.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
So really, when you just tilt it a little bit sideways, it does help really much just to make a smooth landing. I think the landing gears, they are really stiff and robust on this RC airplane, so I wouldn't really worry about breaking them. It's a really nice takeoff also. You don't need much elevator to get this one up in the air. Oops. So I mean, if you just flare at the wrong moment and really need to get it down, it's really ugly. One more try then. I mean, you can see that the landing gears, they don't give you any lee room at all. Just super stiff.
Time remaining 1 minute.
So I wish there was some kind of spring mechanism on them just to make smooth landings. That's maybe the negative thing then about the Cirrus. So, I mean, if you would have done this with I guess my E-Flite Cherokee 1.3 meter, the landings would have been really smooth without any bouncing, because the Cirrus, the Cherokee then will have a spring loaded nose gear. So, I mean, if you just flare at the right moment and you more or less kill the throttle, you will get down. But this plane can also tip stall, so you really have to keep up speed as well. So it's all about just getting the right angle when you touch down this RC plane. So it's a good thing just to have just shift the battery with touch and goes and landings, because this is RC plane that you really need to practice on them. I enjoy this RC plane. I think that there are a few things that you have to consider, because this is a little bit difficult just to make nice landings with, because if you hit the nose wheel first, this one will bounce more or less like crazy. So I've replaced the rudder servo in mine, because it was a plastic gear servo, so now I have a metal gear servo, and since then everything has been holding up really good. So you should really try to get the mains then down first, which in some circumstances might be a little bit difficult, because this one also, you know, it has a little bit of tendency to tip stall when you just push too much elevator when you're about to land. So I would suggest, like, if you have like 50 centimeters from the ground, like 2 feet or something, then I think you should really just pull full elevator and have this one touch down on the mains. So that's the trick. But it's always kind of interesting just to get the speed low enough to have the right angle, just pull the elevator in the right moment. So it surely is something that you, every landing with this one, you really have to work them. But then again, I enjoy it, because then there's like a challenge, and many RC planes are so easy to get down without any damage whatsoever. But this one you really have to work on the landings. And I also think that it does have a really slim wing, and in my experience then, if you have like a slim wing, they are more prone to stall if you go really slow. So the lift isn't really as good as a thick wing chord RC airplane. So in comparison then, I think that the Twin Otter then from E-Flite does also have a really slim wing, and it's also prone to tip stall. So in that aspect, I think that the E-Flite Cherokee is a much better RC airplane, or the RB7 then, or if, for instance, the Commander, which just floats truly great at slow speed. But as far as scale look and speedy and fun RC airplane, and I mean, really fantastic one, I'm really enjoying this Cirrus SR-22T.